My name is Aria. I stopped by the old park that evening without really thinking why. The air was cool, the sky already tinted soft blue-gray, and the wooden swings creaked gently every time the wind touched them. The place felt quiet, almost forgotten, the kind of quiet that lets your thoughts breathe. I sat down on one of the swings, letting my legs sway just enough to feel the old chains move. The sound was strangely comforting. I closed my eyes for a moment, and then I heard footsteps on the gravel, light ones. When I looked up, she was standing there, a girl with dark hair pulled into a loose ponytail, a denim jacket thrown over her shoulders. She paused when she saw me, her eyes soft but curious. "Mind if I sit?" She nodded toward the swing next to mine. "Go ahead," I said. She settled onto the swing, her movements careful, almost shy. For a few moments, we simply rocked back and forth, the wooden seats creaking in a slow, uneven rhythm. The wind brushed through the trees, carrying that faint scent of grass after sunset. "It's rare to see someone here this late," she said eventually. "I needed a break from everything," I admitted. She smiled, small, genuine, the kind that warms the air around it. "Same." Her swing moved closer to mine whenever the wind shifted, just a few inches. But somehow, those inches felt like something. We didn't talk much after that. We just listened. To the wind, to the creaking chains, to the silence between us that strangely didn't feel empty. When she leaned back slightly and looked up at the sky, her hair fell away from her face, and for a moment I couldn't look away. There was something in the way she existed, calm, thoughtful, quietly beautiful. "I'm Liana," she said softly, still watching the sky. "Aria," I replied. Her eyes met mine for a second. Warm, steady, almost too honest. And something subtle shifted inside me. A small warmth. A beginning I didn't expect. The swings moved in slow, uneven harmony, and I knew this evening wasn't going to leave my mind anytime soon. The sky had darkened by the time we started swinging again, just enough for the streetlights to flicker on, casting soft circles of amber light across the park. The world felt smaller, quieter, like the night had gently wrapped itself around us. Liana let her swing drift closer to mine, the chains clicking softly each time they brushed. "I used to come here as a kid," she said, her voice calm, almost nostalgic. "It always felt like a safe place." I nodded. "It still does." She smiled at that, a slow, warm curve of her lips that made something inside me melt a little. For a moment we just sat there, toes brushing the ground, the swings barely moving. The sound of distant cars faded, and only the rustling leaves above us filled the silence. "I'm glad you were here tonight," she said suddenly. The words were simple, but the way she said them, soft, honest, almost too open, made my heartbeat shift. "I'm glad you came too," I replied quietly. Her swing drifted even closer. Now our knees almost touched. Almost. Liana lowered her gaze, then lifted it again, as if gathering quiet courage. "Do you ever feel like someone shows up in your life at the exact moment you needed them?" I swallowed, the air suddenly warmer despite the breeze. "Yes," I said. "Right now." She let out a small breath, one that sounded like relief. The lamplight caught the edges of her hair, turning them gold. The wind moved her jacket slightly, revealing the soft line of her collarbone, and for a moment I forgot the cold entirely. A gentle creak of the swings filled the silence as she leaned a little closer, not touching me, but close enough that I could feel her warmth. Her eyes held mine, steady, glowing, vulnerable in the quietest way. "I don't want to go home yet," she whispered. "You don't have to," I said. And in that small, amber-lit space between two old swings, something unspoken grew stronger. Soft, warm, and impossible to ignore.